Kent says, costs nothing to smile, and it's really infectious. It certainly bloody is. Smile, laugh, and share it with others. Spread the joy. That's something that Ken really does well. And Sean asks, what suburb has that coming at you in Brisbane? So what suburb are you in, Tony?
Bulimba. I'm at Bulimba. So let me show you where I am. So I'm at Bulimba, and so we've got the, just have a look here. So I'm just in a park today, and we've got the cricket. So there's the guys there with the marquee up. So we've got the cricket happening, and we've got some just a beautiful park here. So yeah, that's where I am today. So
cover should be a bit of swing out there today. So
yes.
Well,
Well, it's a turf pitch as well, right? So it's not a it's not a artificial turf. It's the real deal here today.
Fantastic. So I guess for the audience that are out there today is be mindful about who are those others that are influencing your thoughts and actions. I think it's so strong. Think about like some of those people that are, tending to have an effect on those negative parts of what's going on for you. And like Tony said, how you can maybe get up in the morning and think about a smile that you can create for yourself that might be a great prevention armor for you, instead of thinking about the cure when, sometimes that things go wrong and how do you get yourself back. So that preventative work might lead to a lessening factor of that negativity, or you just swat away the negativity that comes up in certain parts. And when, people are complaining about the weather or COVID, the economy, you actually don't even hear it. Like your earmuffs are on and you just kind of filter out that negativity. So that could be a big one for us to reflect on. So for you, I'd love to hear from the audience to say, what kind of things that are influencing your thoughts and actions? I'd love to hear some of those things that do come up at certain parts. And it might be in your workplace that is almost like unavoidable, but are you actually putting the earmuffs on? It might be in your friends group, your family, might be in other areas, Tony.
So if you're putting on your earmuffs, is that active listening?
Well, it's figuratively, like you put some filter in there.
No, I understand.
It doesn't go deep down, right? It
sure,
doesn't.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But it's just interesting that here we are talking about active listening, and then we're talking about putting some imaginary earmuffs on as well. The point you're making is the right one, Luke, and the point is that we are the average of the people that we spend our time with, and this is not easy. So I think about my friend groups have evolved, over many years, and for those who know me or at least listen to me on a regular basis, you know that I no longer drink alcohol. I no longer have a need to go out to nightclubs and whatnot, and so but so my friend groups have changed over the time. We had friends who would go out and we'd party hard and do all those sorts of things, but I got to a point where it wasn't serving me well. And then when you're with people who are negative and you slowly move away. Now, these things aren't easy to do because people are going to say, well, hang on a second, we were seeing each other every week and now we're seeing each other every fortnight and now every month and now, 6 months and whatever. So, but it's your life. It's your life. Never, ever, ever lose sight of that. And you got to live the life that you want to live. And if you feel that you're doing something that you don't want to do, that's not serving you, that's just, it's just going through the same stuff, listening to the same negativity. It's just, such a pessimistic conversation. Well, I'm going to challenge you to really assess your friend group. It's not easy. None of it's easy. And here's the bigger problem. A lot of the challenges come within our family. So you can change your friends, but you can't change your family. So, you've got some issues there within the family. And so you've got a few choices. You can either A, address it front on and start to have a conversation around, hey, you think that person is incredibly negative or pessimistic, and are they aware of that? Or B, you can just start to wind back the amount of time that you spend with that person. But what I'd encourage you to do is not sit there and keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over because your life is passing you by.
I guess it comes, with family. This is where we really need to be super careful, because then we are often very reactive, very responsive in our actions. And that's because of past issues that have come up. And even for me at times, like it can be sort of layers of negativity or issues from the past that actually then present themselves each and every time that there's conversations when things get a little bit harder. So being a little bit more in the listening space, and maybe letting go of even the attacks that you might receive might be very powerful for you as an individual, that you can respond better each and every time.
Well, it's about being non-judgmental. It's about, Ichigo Ichi, look it up, it's Japanese. It stands for treasure every moment, for it will never happen again. This conversation will never happen again. You and I will speak again. You and I will do Sunday mindset sessions and have private conversations and whatnot again. But this very conversation on the 7th of February at this time will never happen again. So it's called Ichigo Ichi, and it's about just really immerse yourself in that conversation. So you're sitting there saying, well, hey, I'm speaking to some family and I've got stuff going on from the past. Well, sure, that may have happened in the past, can never change that. But maybe this conversation could be a breakthrough conversation. People change. I can tell you the conversations that I had with people pre-2015 to the conversations post-2015 are poles apart, right? And so people can change, and so it's about being in that moment at that point in time, and that also then helps from a listening point of view.
Tony Gallagher says, I'm up at 6 a.m. Monday to Friday, then 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, off for a walk and think through the day as Mooch, his dog, is not big on conversation. So maybe that works well. And you see a lot of people walking their dogs on weekends or during the week, and maybe it's time to reflect and take some time out. So
what, dogs are good listeners, right? So dogs are good listeners. So, they're not going to give you anything back, of course, other than their unconditional love. But dogs are good listeners. And so quite often you can tell a story to a dog, And so I can tell you firsthand, we've got a little puppy in our household, a little white ball of fluff. It's probably about this big now. And they're great listeners, and they'll just sit there beside you and listen away to whatever, crap is coming out of your mouth, no judgment. And the tail will wag and
so are you saying that we've got to be more like dogs?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying we need to be more like dogs. What I'm saying is that Tony's talking about the poor conversation from his dog. I'm saying, well, yes, it's coming back the other way, but it's a good opportunity to listen. And quite often, because then if you say something out loud, you go, oh, hang on a second. Right? So sometimes when you think about it, you're not catching it. But then when you say it out loud, you go, oh, hang on, what did I just say? Oh, my gosh. Have a listen to that. How negative am I being? What's that, mate? Sorry?
So the message of today for everyone that's on right now, Tony wants us to be more like dogs.
That's not my message.
Listen without judgment.
Yes, I do want that.
Not say anything at all, because dogs are great listeners. Got it, says Tony Gallagher. Dogs are awesome listeners, says Sean. So maybe that's a reflection of today. We need to be more like dogs and listen without judgment and sit there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's about coming into a conversation without having the judgment. Again, this is not easy. None of the stuff that we talk about is easy. If it was easy, we probably only would have done one of these sessions, right? But the reality is it's not easy. But it's about recognizing that, hey, I'm coming into a conversation with a preconceived thought, with past memories, right? And I'm taking that into the conversation, and perhaps that's skewing the way that I'm listening. Perhaps that's skewing the way in which I'm coming back to someone. Maybe from a tonality point of view, I'm being a little more short, sharp, etc., than I might be with someone else that I've just met for a first time, right? And so it's important to recognise that and go into every conversation. Again, Ichigo Ichi, treasure every moment.
So I think the theme today is be like a dog and listen.
I look forward to seeing your post.
I know, you can't wait for it.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that.
Sometimes you need to shield your energy, especially if you are stuck with working in with toxic bosses. Sometimes with toxic families, you need to cut them out. So yeah, that could be a good one for us to reflect on for ourselves. Dogs are great listeners. Peter Trong has come on, says hi Luke, hi Tony. He actually said hi Tony this time and hi Luke. So yes, he got you in first. Peter says woof woof, and Sean's laughing out loud on that. Be more like a dog and listen is the theme of today, guys.
There you go. That's it. Hey, who knew? That's where we go. So,
the conversation can go anywhere, really, and and I guess I know we're laughing about it, Tony, but realistically, that's in essence what we're talking about. Really, is sit there, listen, be grounded, be an active listener, and maybe to a certain degree without actually saying anything like it as a dog, but they're actually then comforting and there for you, and there without judgment. So a lot of those principles actually, reflect back. And I guess it's not a two-way conversation, but energetically and body language wise, maybe it is.
Be present. That's how I'd sum it up. Just be present in the moment. And again, think about how would you like to be listened to. So would you like to be listened to when you've got an important thing to say and someone's sitting there looking at watches, looking at phones, looking at TV, looking at everything else but listening to you? It feels terrible. So then think about that in reverse. So it's a case of going, well, treat people as you would like to be treated. Listen to people as you would like to be listened to. Give them the courtesy. They've got something really important to say. So give them the courtesy to have their say and listen. And you know what? Like you said, we can always learn. Like the thing I love about life is that the more conversations you have, then the more you start to get different perspectives. You know what? And I didn't think about that, or I hadn't thought about that, hadn't considered that, right? And all of a sudden, because I'm having conversations, like, what a great perspective that is. Yeah, absolutely, because I was heading down a particular path, and you've now just helped me open up to a whole new thing. Doesn't mean that I have to agree to it, but at least I now have a little bit of understanding as to where you're coming from.
Yeah, what you said earlier, Tony. Back in 2015, what you knew back then is completely different and
100%.
more advanced than from what you know actually now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of comments about the dogs. Kelly says our dog Azaria has the ability to show empathy and listen. I haven't found that in many other dogs and many people. And maybe Kelly needs to look a little bit harder or expand the network. So that's an idea around that. Tony might have some other ideas. We got Matt.
No, it's a good one because they're out there, right? So there are people out there who are great listeners, who are very empathetic. You just haven't looked hard enough, Kelly. So keep searching.
This is where social media comes on, because you can actually expand your network, but it's not that face-to-face. So it's a little bit different, Tony. So Kelly might be in a situation where she does align herself with people on social media, but they are in close contact, as an example. Yeah?
Sure.
Maddie says, talking to friends and family about what I'm trying to achieve has been a big building confidence and belief in myself. So critical to have people who will react positively around you.
Oh, 100%. And again, it's about you're the average. Jim Rohn says you're the average of your 5 closest people. I have a slightly different twist on it, and you're the average of your network, right? So the 5 closest people, I think, is a bit too narrow. But your network, who are the people that you're hanging around with? Where are you getting your influence from? Where are you getting your information from? Are you watching news? Where are you, so it's all of this combined. All of this combined is going to help you be the person that you are today. And again, if you are going to surround yourself with enormous amounts of negativity and pessimism, it's going to rub off on you. If you're going to sit there and watch the news all day, then you're going to live your life in a very fearful state versus doing things very differently, seeking out the people that you want to be like, or that can help you, that can assist you, that can lift you up, etc. Find those people, find that network. They're out there. There's so many out there. Sorry.
Maddie's just it sounds like a really vulnerable piece that he's put together there. So it's really good, Maddie, for you to actually say those things out loud, or actually type in to the comments about your story right now, because that's actually going to raise the bar for you. You may not realize that at the moment, but we know the effects that other people putting comments in here or actually talking about them out loud does have an effect on us. So we really encourage all our viewers to comment. Obviously, there's guys that are, Ken, Sean, Peter, who are doing a lot of commenting. That's going to help you. Kelly, that's going to help you. That's what we want to instill in you, to actually talk these things out loud and see some of the things that you're saying out loud. Maybe they need a little bit of adjusting. I know that Ken, in the past, we've talked about and challenged him on a few little things that he's saying to himself. And then hopefully that's, getting to him to think a little bit differently. So that can be an idea. Other comments are going to come. You want to reflect on that a little bit?
Well, we'll go back to the formula that I said earlier. So awareness plus action equals change. And so, Maddie, there's the awareness piece. Now it's the what are you doing about it piece. So that's the thing. It's the, hey, I know this is what's going on around me. I know that I'm around negative people. I know that my bosses are negative or suppress my comments or whatever it is. So that's okay. What are you doing about it? That's the bit there. That's the bit right there, because far too many people live their life knowing what they should do and never do a thing about it. So it's about knowledge, it's about awareness, and then it's about going, bam, here is my plan of action.
You know what's
That's
amazing?
how change happens.
The amount of support within the other people that are actually coming on and sharing
wonderful.
around other people's comments, which is amazing. We
Wonderful.
love that. Ken says, for me, those that inspire me are my customers. I'm finding myself wanting to improve my service to be the best I can, deliver the best service I possibly can. The praise I get from customers is very humbling. When I say me or I mean we, Janelle and myself, we are one. Good on you for clarifying that, Ken, for sure. So Sean says, if we see a cat in the background of Tony's video, we see a background on the back of Tony's video, and we have to fly there to chase it.
What?
I don't know. Anyway, so
is there a cat there or something? Is that what you're saying?
No idea. I've been focusing on the conversation, Tony, and not being distracted. So
me too. Me
listening
too.
a lot. Peter says, hang out with Luke Moroney and Tony Meredith. Absolutely. That's where it's at. This is the positivity circle here. Kelly says, I'll keep working on that aspect of myself. Thanks for the advice, Luke and Tony. We are the average of our social diet. I like that from Sean.
There you go. There you go.
Forget about watching the news. Make your own news. Be the news. Ken Murray, next level.
Which is terrific. Look. So you've got to. You still need to understand what's going on in the world. So I'm not suggesting that you totally isolate yourself and go and be remote, but it's about how do you consume that? Do you consume it in your pace, or do you sit there and get sort of sucked into the vortex of the 24/7 news cycle? So it's important to understand what's going on around us. Some of those things may impact us, for example. So be the news. Well, there you go, Ken. Create your own story. I love it.
So Peter's actually responded to Maddie's comments and said, everyone goes through it, mate. I'm still working on it. Keep learning, keep going. And obviously a big thank you from Maddie to Peter. So it's good to have that interaction between other people, because we can come on here and say about our stories. We do reflect on, the issues that we create ourselves, but it's great for each of you to realize that it's, happening within, happens with us, it happens with other people, and we can reflect on, help on each other. So remember that you aren't alone in this. We all go through these stories each and every day. Yes, Tony and I can sit on our soapboxes here talking about mindset, but we go through exactly the same things as you guys.
Exactly. And here's the thing. This is not a new phenomenon. So the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, was written in the 1930s. Excuse me. The principles in that book apply 100% today. Here we are, 2021, some 90, 80 odd years after the book was first written, and we're going through the same stuff. And guess what happens? Long after we're gone, in 100 years' time, it'll be the same stuff, and it'll be the same stuff in 100 years after that, and so on and so forth. So what we're going through, we're all going through it, right? We're all going through it. We're just going through it at different stages. It's just that some of us have strategies to be able to move forward. That's the key here, right? Our mind is our mind, right? It's going to throw at you all this negativity. That's the way that it's wired, designed, etc. But it's about, now, what do I do with that? Do I sit there and listen and then go, you're right, I'm not good enough? Or do you sit there and go, shut up, brain, I'm doing this. This is my goal. My heart says, and I'm doing this thing here, come hell or high water, and nothing is going to get in my way.
Tony, I just want to reflect on the third point. I know we're
we haven't got to a third. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
Comments that are coming through today.
Yeah, good. That's great comments.
This has been a great topic to talk about, and
fantastic.
Something so simple as, are you really listening? And actually made me think when I talked about that, and I think you were kind of inspired by the topic as well, Tony, in your response, and it's amazing how this conversation has gone, which has been really good. The third point is, who are the people you really want to be listening to be inspired by, who really resonates with you, taking you towards a person you want to be and a path you want to lead.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so many. And the great thing about 2021 is that it's all at our fingertips and it's free. Like, it's free. Like, you could listen to us, obviously, if you want to, but you can listen to people who are further down the road than Luke and I. You can listen to, Tony Robbins or Gary Vee, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Mel Robbins, who else? Bob Proctor. On and on it goes, like Ed Milet. And it's all free. Podcasts, YouTubes, etc. It's amazing. The wealth, there's no shortage of knowledge in this world today. But I tell you what, there's a shortage of. There's a shortage of taking action. There's a mass shortage of taking action.
Just wanted to reflect on that. Yeah, it was a very a big drop the mic drop atmosphere, which happens like every 5 minutes or so, to be honest. So, Tony,
there's a lot. I know there's a lot of mics down on the ground here, mate. I keep tripping over, but
are they the sprinkles or the mics?
It could have been the sprinkles. Hey, could have been the sprinkles. But there is so much information, and it's just so readily available. We have the choice as to what information we want to consume. So you could easily go and consume the wrong information as well. You can go down the wrong path and take the wrong things in. And I think about it, it's a bit like a computer. Good stuff into a computer, good stuff out of the computer. The brain's the same. Put good stuff into your brain, put the right things into your brain, put positivity into your brain, put listening to those motivational YouTube clips or podcasts or whatever it might be, read as well into your brain. Guess what happens? Great stuff comes out. Great stuff comes out, as opposed to if you sit there and consume yourself in the negativity and the pessimism. You sit there and read about COVID for days on end. Well, then you feel swamped by it all.
The same way the computer needs a reboot and restart, so do we.
Of course.
And, that might come in the form of sleep or meditation or watching other or listening to other podcasts or videos and so forth to
time away
level.
Time away. Like, everyone's gone and had a month ago, people were having a break. So hopefully people are, who came back, at least initially, came back feeling recharged and re-energized, ready for an amazing 2021. A lot of people saying putting 2020 behind them, all those sorts of things. So take a break, right? Now, the challenge is, here we are into month 2 of this year, and are you feeling as energized now, right? Perhaps we can talk about that next week, because that is a whole other topic, right? But, are you feeling as energized now as you were 4 weeks ago? And if you're not, tune in next week and we'll take you through how to do that. There you go. Do you like that, mate? Look at that. We're starting to have little hooks now I just made that up on the fly. We'll have little hooks to sort of, hey, come on back next Sunday. We'd love to have you, and we'll share with you that topic. Can you remember that topic, please, mate? I can see you writing it down.
I'm just writing it down. So I do reflect on that. So we've put it in our chat box that we've got going between you and us. So we can remember that for next week.
There you go.
But this is where the gold comes from. These are where the ideas are created, Tony. You've got 2 brains, then you've almost got a third one in the middle, creating the magic between us, like the bouncing off of ideas. And that's what is. And I talk about inspiration and, things that resonate with you, and listening has then created a new topic for next week. And how many times have we actually been able to do this, Tony?
So many.
Each and every week that we come up with a new topic, we just kind of forget or don't write it down for the next week. That's all.
So many. You know what would be even better? I mean, that's great, but you know what would be even better is if we got people who were listening to us who said, hey, this is what they'd love to hear next week. Like that would be even better again if they said, hey, could you talk about such and such? Here's what's going on in my life now. I know that takes vulnerability, but you could write it up as saying, well, hey, a friend of mine is going through such and such. There's no judgment here. But we'd love to hear what's going on. Another topic.
Tony, we can almost get it from the comments that come through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
People that like the reactions that they have around that actually brings on a new topic. I think there's a lot that's come out of today, which is awesome. I think about the listening that I do, the inspiration that others have, whether that's you, Tony, or many people that are commenting on the post right now and actually being vulnerable around their own lives, which is amazing. That gets me, right? That gets me. And I just think about something that I'm grateful about through, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but being grateful about this morning and listening to myself this morning, getting up, going for a run, going for a swim at Bondi Beach, being able to go and grab a coffee, then sitting down for the Sunday mindset session. How grateful can you be?
It's a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset. You know, you're sitting there, whereas others would just take that for granted, whereas you're sitting there and being so appreciative with it. And again, that's about itchy-go itchy. Be in the moment. Be in that moment. Be in the moment where you can. It's just such a powerful thing. You know, here I am in this beautiful park, and what a wonderful place you could be. Just sit under the trees if you want to, and just be in the moment and just watch the world go by. Like, you know, I talk before or previous episodes around, you know, magic spot, you know, getting a little square of carpet. You know, these are the types of things. It's just sit there and be appreciative for all the wonderful things we have, because unfortunately what we tend to do is focus on all the things that we don't. So gratitude will be another episode, mate, that we should focus on. So there you go, get the pen out. Actually, I did have another one as well, which is dealing with stress. I'd like to tackle that in the upcoming weeks as well. So there's about the next month planned out.
Oh, is this a content marketing session, not a Sunday mindset session, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, it's just I had a lot of people this week. So again, so you've got so let me just go through the timeline that I see happen all the time. You got January come back, enthused, energized, ready to go, big plans, set goals, and then what happens is they get to now, and some people don't even get this far, but some of my clients, they've got to now, and now they're going, this isn't working, that's not working, so they're starting to put themselves under pressure and stress. And so I thought it might be a good one to revisit so that we can then think about, you know, how do we keep that going? Because we've got, you know, a good, 10, 11 months of the year in front of us. So it's about keeping the momentum going. That was the idea. So no, it's not content marketing. Mind you, my team will do that, but it's not content marketing.
How about who is smashing 2021 and how are you smashing 2021? That could be another topic as well, Tony.
Well, there you go. So we're into March now. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Brainstorming session for Tony and Luke. Kelly's laughing. Sean reckons, and I think Sean's bolstering up his comedy these days because he's having a few pokes, a few jabs at some of our talk, and obviously for me, myself, because he watches a lot of my videos. Coming up next week, he says, how to be more like a dog.
There you go. There's another one. We can do that if you want to do that. In fact, when my dog has its final needles, so it's got one more to go, vaccinations, and then we'll introduce you to my little dog. So yes, we could maybe do that, right? And so mind you, she won't be able to sit still for an hour. I got zero. If I can get her to sit still for 60 seconds, that would be a world record.
Okay, so maybe a bit of dog training as well. So guys, that's the wrap for today. We've just gone on an hour, which is fantastic. It's been a bloody wonderful session. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It rejuvenates me each and every time that we come on. So hopefully it does for you. Tony, what does a Sunday mindset session do for you?
Oh, it pumps me up. It gives me some structure in my Sunday mornings. You know, I could be at home doing a whole lot of other stuff with the family. Probably be lazy, to be honest. So I like Sundays to be a bit of a lazy day. I work 6 days a week. So, but for me, it gives me something exciting to look forward to. I love the interaction. I love the interaction with you, but I also love the interaction with everybody else. And I love to be able to help people. That's why it is I do what it is that I do.
Challenges, Tony. Do you love the challenges?
Of course I do. Of course I do, right? So it's about my own growth. It's about my own growth.
Coffee's got the dog walking happening. I've seen, you know what? You know, it's that thing about, you know, how many times do you see something once you...
RAS, reticular activating system, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So you know how many... how many dogs have walked past in the last half an hour or so?
Correct. And, you know, they've probably been walking past that frequently the whole time. It's just that when we started to talk about it, now the RAS kicked in and it's like, oh, my gosh, look at all these dogs. So, and it happens.
Well, Sean's looking at cats, so I don't know what's going on there. So everyone's saying they love the session from Peter, Sean and Kelly. Guys, have an awesome week, which is absolutely great. I did have one more thing I wanted to say, but we'll maybe leave it for later. Tony, super session.
Thank you, mate. Love it. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have an awesome Sunday. Have an awesome week. And see you next week. Bye.
I'll just keep the video.
Yeah, I can see.
What you've got more to say?
It says no. It says live. I've said enough.